Okay, we are live on our beautiful work. Good morning. How are you? It's a Saturday morning, a chilly one. It's very cold. Your car heated, some work, and it's another edition of Drive Time Radio. New York, Vinnie here with you on this crisp, clear Saturday morning, and is really cool in this situation because as if you're watching the news and the weather and all that kind of stuff, you are getting the sense that something is going on, and terrestrially there is something going on. An old old saying that my father used to say, "Oh, the planets are lined up." Well, you know what? The planets actually are lined up right now. I don't know exactly which ones are where, but there's Mars, there's Jupiter, there's Saturn, all in a line. If you go out in the night sky, you can actually all lined up. And it only happens once every 452 years or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, it's something that you should take into consideration at the very least. And at the very most, um, take a look and get out there at night and take a look. I don't even have to get away from the city for this one. I mean, it's bright enough in the sky that you can see it. I'm going to actually go up to Anacortes. There's a little spot that I go to up there in Washington Park, and you can get into this spot and you just have a nice view. Except that you're going to want to, I guess, be looking toward the south or the south, which is opposite of the north. So I'll have to find a curve toward the south, but that's where it'll be. And the planets are lining up. Now, depending on what your belief system is, you get something good out of that. The planets line. Right? I mean, that's what we're all hoping for. Well, if the planets line up, so maybe for the playoffs, it'll be good for your team. Hope for many of our friends in Detroit that the Lions do well. We've got a lot of fans of this show that watches from Detroit. In the car biz thing, and so we kind of get behind the Lions. If one of my teams ain't in it, you got to root for somebody. So I'll root for the Lions this year. I did last year. It'd be nice to see them able to get to a place where they can be successful. It's been a long time for the Lions. They're kind of what I like to call a working person's team. They're a bunch of bread and butter kind of guys that look like, and so you try to, if you can, root for that. Now I'm doing something here so I can get the Vinnie loaded into the machine, and of course it never feels. That's what it's doing. Okay, this is the one I want. So we'll put that there and load that in, and hopefully here in a matter of a couple of minutes we'll have our Yo Vinnie, what are you driving this week? Well, I hope you had a good week. We missed a lot of you last week. We had that once again difficulties, and I don't know if they're technical difficulties for what is going on with your technical difficulties, with what's going on with the technical. So we're chalking up to experience. We'll be here every Saturday morning, and of course, you can always find on our podcasts, which are available on your local podcast providers. You can always wind up there. And plus, a couple of things coming. Now, I want to remind you that this show is brought to you by my good George Jackson from the George Jackson Promotions. If you have a business and you need something for business, business promotion items, anything from calendars to T-shirts to a business promotion item. You give out pens. Pens used to be huge. I remember when many years ago when I was in the auto appraisal business, I gave out pens to people. I got boxes of pens and I gave them out. And I had more people ask me about pens. Anything else? They wanted the pens. I know, cheap 10-cent pens, but they had Empire damage appraisers on the side. So I gave them out to insurance companies. And you know what? When they need an appraisal, they pick up that pen and they call that number, and I go out and do an appraisal. And I was at that time a $50, $70 appraisal pen. Sometimes they get a multiples. So these things with your name, your business. I know today it's not pens, maybe it's mouse pads, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but George does them all. And what I like about what George does is he gives you service. He's a person to buy. You talk to, you feel like you're into one of your friends from high school that got successful. He does the right thing. He'll do the right thing for you. Any of your business items that you need, business items that you need, look him up on the internet. JP, GeorgeJacksonPromotions.com. You can find him on Facebook. He's all over there, and he will sit down with you or talk with you, or however you want to make contact with him. Sure that you get the right thing the first time. No sending it back. Know that he's in contact with these manufacturers, and I'm going to tell you something. Talk to him now for the tariffs, because those tariffs, things are going to increase, and George has already told me. He says, "Vinnie, you got to get whatever you need. You got to get it now." I know because I've been to George's operation. I know he does to find people that make the stuff right here in America. But some things you can't buy made in America anymore. You got to buy it from somewhere else. When the tariffs are up, believe you me, it will affect all of us. So once again, George Jackson Promotion.com. All right, bunch of stuff, news that I want to get into this morning. The first thing that I have on my list is New York City congestion pricing. And you're saying, well, Vinnie, what the hell do I care about what's going on in New York? Well, you should, because as sure as God made little apples, and we know that He did because we live near the apple orchards. This thing works out in New York. You are going to see in major cities across the country. What is congestion pricing? Well, very simply, they take a city and they put up cameras and snap a picture of your license plate, just like they do on the 520 bridge or in dual lanes over on 405, and they trade toll to come in downtown area. The reasoning being is that you can park somewhere else, and get on a train, take that into downtown, and relieve congestion. And once they finish up that rail system, that's more and more of it is coming online. We just got a couple of months ago Linwood online, and pretty soon it's going to go across over to Bellevue. The Bellevue part's already online, so you're going to see the growth of a train. They're already talking about sending it over to West Seattle. They're already talking about expanding it more. So once you see the transit system expand to where you can park your car like in Linwood up there, and it can sock you $5 a day to park your car up there. Then also get on the transit. I'm going to say, okay, if you don't want to do that, I'm going to charge you for 6 or 7 or 11 or 8 or 10, whatever the load will bear, to come into the city. And I know that's New York City. That people never go for people. Listen, my friends, they never thought that they'd ever put a toll on the bridge into Manhattan, but they have. There's no toll booths. But with this congestion pricing, what is it with modern day electronics? What is it going to put up a camera and say, and if you don't have any gas on your car, so they can tell where you're going, they'll send a thing in the mail, and then if you get five of them and you get pulled over, they take your car. And I can guarantee you, God is my witness, it will happen here. You will get congestion pricing here as soon as they see that this works. Now, I guess it costs $9 during the day from I guess 6 to 7 p.m. Then I think $3 or something like that from 7 till 6 in the morning, something like that. People go into Manhattan at night, and it is. Most people, to be honest with you, get $9. Most people are gonna go, I ride my car and take the subway into Manhattan. But some people are getting creative. I was watching a story earlier today. Yes, there's a parking garage that has two. One of the entrances is below the line. I think it's 60th Street. The other, the parking garage, is on 61st Street. And, many buildings do. Manhattan runs the length of the block. So what people are doing is going in the parking garage and then coming out the other side. And so you can't get by the things, the cameras, congestion pricing. By the camera, so now there's a line to get into this parking garage, and just through, you pull up on 61st, and there's 100 cars waiting at 8:00 in the morning to get into this parking lot. So legitimately parked there, can't even get into the parking garage. Is going nuts trying to catch people. I guess he's got security guards and everything and put them out there, and or I don't know, collect $10 per through. I don't know what he's going to do, but right now this guy has a problem. And I guess if the is you that can evade, write you up for evading a toll. They've also made covering your license plate illegal. It was already, but I guess there's a big, if I guess $500 fine or something if you cover your license plate up. So you can't get inventive like the only thing you can really do is steal somebody else's license plates and put them on your car. Is that work to do for $9 a day? I mean, pretty soon the city's gonna run out of license plates. They get pulled over for stolen plate. That's a whole nother. Again, you take your car. That's what they're supposed to do. So I mean, keep this. If you're a driver, you're somebody who who commutes into the city, break for taxi cab. Well, I think there is a break for taxi cabs, and it might be disabled people. But no break for senior citizens if you got to go to the doctor, in something like that. No break for commercial vehicles. Everybody pays $9. No break for poor people. No break if you're working to take your car into the city because you need your car to then go out and do route something like that. No breaks. In time they'll work that out, but it's something you gotta consider. You gotta look at and say, is that going to come? So I'm sure when you elect your politicians, when your different state legislators, when you keep an eye on things that concern motorists, that's one question that you ask. Where do you stand congestion pricing? And do you think that's something that you coming into Seattle or Bellevue or where in the future? The one thing that I do like about it does reduce, I think over time, it's going to reduce traffic. I think over time, it's going get people out of their cars and into transit. The ones that I know, people I know already have told me that they go to the sea, they're not taking their cars anymore. They jump on the light rail in Linwood. They park their car, they jump on the light rail, take it downtown, and boom, boom, they're at the ball game. Same thing for Mariner. I guess you walk a block. I don't haven't taken it yet. I'll try to take it sometime this year. Uh, this upcoming season. But it's nice that you know the people are taking transit to do that kind of thing. You got to leave the transit open so people can, if there's a late game, that they got to be able to get home. Nobody's gonna want a Uber right up to Linwood after a game. But again, no idea for people. But the congestion pricing again, it people are complaining about it, and so far it seems to be going okay. They're paying it. What does it mean? It means that if you live in Manhattan in that congestion zone, and you call a serviceman to fix your air conditioner from outside the service zone, it means that you're going to see $18 or $9 packed onto your bill. It means it means that it means that there are situations that you're going to have to just pay it. So that's the story with that. I'll keep an eye on it because I think it's a story that's a ways away from here, but yet bears watching. Because, and I think that there's other cities that you'll see it, but if it works there, it works in New York. I can tell you, 10 years from down the road here, we're going to see it here in Seattle. So that's something to keep an eye on. The State Patrol is trying to figure out who is throwing rocks off of overpasses in Tacoma. Several motorists around downtown Tacoma, and that Route 7 split down there that goes to Puyallup by the Emerald Queen. Several motorists have had reports of cars by huge rock thrown off of overpasses, and this happened. If I'm not mistaken, this was a Tuesday. Was it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night? Thursday night. Three reports along I-5 in Tacoma. Rocks being thrown from overpasses. And it's all kinds of rocks. I mean, we've got one car's got a roof caved in. Another car has got a windshield caved in. Another person ran over rocks. If you're driving through Tacoma, really, if you're at night on any road around here on I-5, well, keep your eyes open and look to at these overpasses. It could mean a different. I mean, you get hit at 60 miles an hour. One of these rocks, 70 miles an hour. You're going to be in trouble. The question is that I'm looking at a picture of now one overpass here, and I want to see if there's a chance that I might be able to get this. Okay, I'm looking at it's arrested 3 teens so far, according to Como News on this. But again, I'm looking at these overpasses, and I've got to ask the question. And I know I'm in Seattle, and up here I'm in Edmonds. That's where our studios are, up in beautiful, trendy Tony Edmonds. there are fences on these so that people can't throw stuff. You know, there are these tosses that kind of curve it. You can't throw anything over it, or it makes it a lot more impossible for you to throw something over it. These overpasses in Tacoma have no fences on them. Left bare, almost inviting somebody to do some damage. Now, I guess in the old people would do damage and throw stuff off of it. These ain't the old days anymore. And I'm looking at this overpass, and I'm looking at other overpasses like, and they don't have fences. Gotta have fences. And this is not something that's just happening here. It's happening all over the country. Pennsylvania. I'm looking at a hole in a windshield from somebody down in Port. I'm looking at another one here. Florida, I think it is. So I guess on these well-traveled highways, this is one. I'm looking at one here. It looks like it's in Southern California on I-5. And there is a fence, but they chucked it over the fence. Not one of those fences that had that curve in it at the top. So that's something you got to take a look at. And it's not something that's going to be today or tomorrow, but in the world we live in, we have to keep our highway secure. So that's something the Bears look at. Unless always say, well, State Patrol State Patrol can't be everywhere. This is something that you got, I guess, a little responsibility for, and be a lookout, especially if you're driving at night. And consider that there's people out there that want to do you harm. And that, unfortunately, is the way it is in our modern society today. And I don't know what to do to change it. You know what to do either. The dog's with me. I'm watching the dogs this week and next week. So me and the dogs are having a party. Daisy and hi Daisy. Hi Emily. So I'm watching. I'm on duty. All right. So you're wondering, you hear the barking in the background. That's what's going on. All right. What else we got here? Oh yes, the Lexus coupe. Will be the last year for it. They have them, and we've driven the RC a few months ago, and oh, what a car! What an incredible look! I mean, Lexus is doing really just about the best job out there in cars, luxury cars, high dollar luxury cars, lower end luxury cars, luxury SUVs, luxury electrics, it's especially hybrids. They're just this is kicking butt in these departments, and the luxury coupe is gonna go away. The RC 500 is going, and again, this was incredible car. The RCF, the final edition, priced at $95,000 with Brembo brakes, 19-inch wheels, rear wing, user front spoiler, Mark Levinson audio system. Comes in 4 colors: incognito, radiant red, sodium, and ultra white. 5.0 liter V gives you 470 horsepower, 395 pound-feet of torque, get you from zero to 60. Lexus says 4.2 seconds. That's the RCF. The 100, 47,120. Turbo 4 with 241 horsepower. You get all-wheel drive for an extra $2,600. And the RC 350 comes in at 49,375, 51 for the all-drive, 311 horsepower. That might go on this one. The F4 is there, but they just 1,854 in the United States last year. And the compact luxury segment is not on fire. You'll probably see this replaced with at some point. Mercedes is keeping their CLEs. BMW sticking with the force. Audi though is making some changes in the A5 that'll replace the outgoing A. But again, that luxury smaller car class coupe. Only passenger cars are leaving us. In some ways, everything we see, passenger cars are making way for SUVs. I'm not 100% sure that that's what the future is going to hold, but again, we're looking at such a change in the auto industry and a change we're all going to boxes. Well, all of us except smart people. I still love my sedans, my coupes, or coupes. All right, a bunch of cars here that aren't around anymore. Marty Pad, Car Connection puts a circle that highlights the cars that have been discontinued 2025. We got a lot new coming in. But these that are going away, the 2025 is 2024, 25 is their last year. So if you want one, you might even be able to get a deal on some of them, because if they're not selling, then because they're not moving off the dealers' lots. And so there must be a few of them around to be had, and some interesting discounts. So anyway, top of the list, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadro Supersport and the Giulia Quadrifoglio. They're great cars, especially if you like to race them. 505 horsepower, seconds to 60 miles an hour. Great steering, great suspension, great track car. Driving it every day might be stuff. Is that legendary Alfa Romeo repair record, which in the United States. You don't see too many of them around, but I admire everyone. I think Alfa Romeo puts out a better car than anybody wants to give them credit for. And I'm sad this particular one. As we talked about in the last story, the A55 coupe. So 2025 there'll be no A5. You'll see an A4, which will be strikingly similar to the A5. The A4 will probably be an electric vehicle at some point. Audi is changing their whole nomenclature of how they name cars. So it's like Mercedes was a few years ago. You're going to have to I wish to go back to names like the Impala or the Galaxy or the Fury. I like to drive an Audi Fury. That sounds sexy. A5 sounds like it's an A5. Nah, I'm sorry. Bring back those names. Cadillac XT4, which is really Cadillac's affordable car, that's going away. Production ending this month. So you will be able to buy it 2025, but run down there and get one now. They were going to sell it alongside the Black Optique. None of these which I've driven yet. GM a little tough with their cars up here. But Cadillac decided to speed up its transition of the Fairfax assembly plant in Kansas City, where they're going to make the next Chevy EV, which is a well anticipated car. The XT4 and the Chevy Malibu, which is also going to go away, were made in Fairfax. And the XT4 lasted one generation. That's it. And Patrick writes in this article, and I agree with him, at a time when small crossovers are one of the most popular new car purchase, General Motors couldn't sell this car. Go figure. Next list of cars that have disappeared for 2025, the 2024 Chevrolet Camaro is the last one. Now, there are people that love the Camaro and people that hate the Camaro. I love the Camaro convertible. I'm not so hot on the Camaro coupe. Look, it was a tough car to fit into right no matter what size you were. If you were tall and you had to wear a racing helmet, forget it. You weren't going to get in there. If you were looking to look outside the car, and I'm even talking about the windshield, was so compressed, so low that you couldn't see traffic lights when you were stopped. One or two cars, you had to lean down and look up. But as far as a car that touched your heart, touched your soul, was a great car. Didn't like being in a Camaro convertible cruising along the California coast, man. Desert. Spectacular car. Sorry to see it go, but maybe they'll bring it back in some other form. More than likely, it'll come back like the Mustang Mach-2, with the electric, or Mach-E, I should say. An electric version of a car that really hasn't much to do with the original version for some design cues. But that's the way we're going in the automotive these days. Chevy Malibu is dead as well. I thought that was a couple of years ago, but they kept the Malibu around. I don't know if you get one anymore, but you still could be out there and find one. It's a shame because I thought it was a pretty car. Never got to where the Camry or Accord is because it's not as far as them. And them's cars, those vehicles are spectacular vehicles. Just drove an Accord a week ago. Spectacular car. But it was an average car. Average people. I mean, if you lived in, I don't know, Gruden, Ohio, it's probably a car you had parked in your driveway. If you needed a car, if you had a company car, this was probably the company car you had. So the Chevy Blue goes by the wayside. And like I said, it was a car it was an average car for average amount. You get what you do sometimes. The Fisker Ocean, I don't know how many times this car has died. This is the Pussycat of cars. The Fisker Ocean, by several accounts, was a pretty good SUV. Was there, but a lot of recalls. 7,500 owners bought these cars and now have no way to get them. No way to get repair costs on several recalls. 2024 Infiniti Q50 going away. Boy, this car going faster than Rudy Giuliani. This was a great sports sedan. I know people that own them love them. Infiniti decides it's a luxury brand, all SUV. We'll see what happens in the future. with Infinity, but looks like they're gonna. Well, we don't know that Infinity's going to be around. We don't know that Nissan is going to be around. This company that's in trouble. They don't have any product that people want. I mean, they sell one of the lowest priced cars in America, and they can't sell them. And when you can't sell cars, you got to take a hard look at yourself. I mean, I can't see the construction of a Nissan because I haven't driven one in except for a couple of years. They don't seem fit to want to give me cars, so that's okay. I'll get by. The whole Jaguar line we spoke about a couple of weeks ago is going away. The E-Pace, the I-Pace, the XE, the F-Type, but they'll come back in a couple of years with an all-electric lineup, and let's see what's going to happen. This is a car company has been told come in with a new idea, come in with a new cars that people want. So they have what's be a blank slate. Let's see where it goes. The Kia Forte is going away, but it'll come in as the K4. Interesting. We're supposed to talk to the Kia and get his thoughts on what's going on here with sedans. I'm scheduled in some Kias coming up, and they're making cars. The K4 and the K5 look to be some very nice and interesting sedan. And maybe that's where this is going to go to the core ring. The core needs to be very interested in building. I'm very interested in building it too. I drove a Hyundai Palisade last week, and yeah, I gotta tell you, for the great car. I don't know. It had size, and if you don't need in that market for the Chevrolet Tahoe, huge suburban monster. Still have comfort 3-seat setup. The Palace, fantastic value proposition. It gives you a ton of stuff, options, and safety equipment, and high tech. The price that isn't going to bank on you. All right, also disappear for 2020 Maserati Ghibli. I don't think anyone knows that they exist anyway. To be honest with you, I know one person that had a Maserati. Was an okay car, but just never were able to pierce the American mark. The Mini Cooper Club Band works are both going away. I don't know what's going to happen with the Mini. And it's only a couple of pieces of this that are going away. It's still basic Mini out there. The electric Mini is still going to be out. And these are great cars. Fantastic cars, fun to drive. I love them. I drove that Mini around Halloween, and man, an enjoyable car to drive. Roomy inside, a little quirky. We did the review. We told you it was a little quirky. I had some interesting stuff, but I like quirky. I like different cars. I want everything to be the same from car to car. I'm from the days when things were different on particular car. The dashboard, and you could tell that was a Plymouth, or that was a Chevy, or an Oldsmobile, or distinct features to them. And the Mini certainly has distinct interior. Driving a Mini. You're not looking at, is that a Toyota or is that what is that? Like the Volkswagen Buzz, ID Buzz, It's a distinct car. Gives you a lot of personality. And we all could use a little personality. All right, what else is going away here? As I read down the death list, the Mitsubishi Mirage and another one. It was again a car that you could buy for $16,000, $17,000. In that same class, the Chevy Sparky Rio used to be the cheapest car sold in the United States. Now I think that goes to one of the Kias, or it might be. Well, I know that you can buy a Jetta. I've seen the Jetta. We're going to talk about the Jetta a little bit, but I know you can buy a Jetta at a dealer in Midwest for $19.95. Go there and pick it up, but $19.95 is what you can buy a Jetta for. I think that's as cheap as we've seen. We've seen a Nissan Titan going away. Boy, I tell you, man, you talk about a car company that has screwed this pooch. Sorry, guys. It never grew a personality. And it wasn't a bad truck. I mean, I drove a couple of them. Ram 100 Classic is going away. That's that cheaper truck that they have to style around for. I think they kept it down to like around for another year. Give people a lower cost alternative. You could buy one. I think you still get for around $35,000. Equipped, not nicely equipped, but equipped. Motor, transmission, doors, wheels, and a bed. A work truck, 5.7. Rolls out door. These days, that's a bargain. Be $75,000, $80,000 a Ford F-150 and a Ram 1500 Classic is not a bad truck. And the final car on our list of cars that are going away is a car that I am sad to see leave, the Toyota Venza. This one was one of my favorites. The Venza, to me, was always a Camry station. It was a car. It was a station wagon. It was, as roomy. You built the same place as the Camry, and the Venza was a well put together car. I mean, you got in this car, in this Venza, you said to yourself, why would I buy a Lexus for $10,000 more when I can afford it? But it didn't translate to the buying public. It was a great car. And I'm sorry to see it go, even though I think the replacement is worthy of this car. The replacement to the which we're going to take a look at this morning is I think hopefully going to be one of the big sellers for Toyota, like they need another seller. Yes, they need another big seller. Anyway, all right, let's see if we can get this in. And again, we have the the ever present little trying this. Okay, that's the one we want. All right, so we talked about the cars that are going away. Here's a new one. This is one that's just been in the Toyota line. They're going to replace things, I think, and it's going to make a lot of people also take a look at things like Ford and say, well, is there a better vehicle for me? Um, do I need something that's more car-like? Because with sedans going away, as we see them in cars themselves going away. You need car. You know, a lot of people still want that car-like. They don't get ride from a pickup truck or you know, those you know, the RAV4 and the higher up vehicles. They want a car. And so, but they want the room UV. So Toyota has safety people with Crown Signia, and I think that I think people are going to be quite impressed with this vehicle. So, many people are calling this thing an SUV. I think it's the closest they've seen to a station wagon that you know that's out there. Toyota lineup. One choice with the car, a lot of options, and I think it's one of the more luxurious. I was down with this car taking pictures at the Edmonds waterfront the other day, and several people stopped and were looking at the car. Older people and saying, "What is that? I haven't seen one before." And they were quite impressed. So I think there has something here. It'll be interesting to see where they go with marketing. I haven't read for it yet, but it's the Crown Insignia. Crown Signia. I keep saying Insignia. I don't know why, but the Crown Signia. Brand new offering. Let's take a look at it. It's a 25 Signia Limited, all-wheel drive and hybrid. They got the styling in the front. You have the headlights below the belt line. This all Toyota has done on many of their models. And again, what I like about it, I love those windows. They have a quarter window that allow you to see out of panel without having to look into the camera. Turn your head and see your blind spot. See the blind spot in there. And again, vehicle doesn't look like an SUV. It looks like a station wagon. Very, very roomy for seating inside, but also look at that massive space and the nice cover for your cargo that you can pull back that comes with. And again, you're looking at a lot of space to put in the back of this car. I was joking with a couple of people that stopped to look at it. Said, well, you can put down blankets in here and have a nice little place to camp. And they said, well, that's exactly what we do. We go car camping. So this would be a perfect for us because it's not so high. You can get into this thing when I'm up a little bit. Dashboard, all video, all well appointed. BL stereo system. This thing, redundant controls for heater, and have a volume knob right there in the middle for the radio, the audio system. I love the volume knob. I think it's I like the fact that there, of course, you see the and the rest taking up their residency on top of board. Cup holders up front, as you saw there, hold the big cups, plenty up in the back seat. Look at the materials in this thing as well. Full panoramic roof in the back so you can see up in the sky. We were talking about going skazing before. Nice matched fit. To keep it clean, you just pull them out and wash them off. You got your USB ports back there, and of course the vent for the heater and the air conditioning. Couple rear seats. Leatherette or whatever they are, artificial leather. So it doesn't feel like you're sitting in the back of a taxi cab. Another interesting thing that I looked at with the Crown, there's some side of this car. Sometimes you look at, especially some of the like the RAV4, they can fin on this, almost making you feel like you don't have a lot of protection. But when you look at the doors, when you look at when you look at the quarter panel, the Crown insignia, it feels good. It looks good. It looks like there's something behind it. Drop the seat, and of course you get a ton of interior room. So if you're if you got to throw stuff in the back here, go to the store or long piece, whatever, you have the space to do that. And with the 60/40 rear seat, you also have a chance to obviously sit in the back and put long items in the back. See what I'm saying about the side. I love the styling of this car. The way they've just put some meat in the side of the car. Easy to get it out of the rear seats as well. And I imagine it's going to be well in the safety test. I don't know if it's going to be yet or not. I don't think it has. Toyota still, always has a good record. Always gives you an interesting things to look at as far as the lane change stuff and different types of safety equipment they put this thing. I love the hood on this thing and the front grille. It gives you that Lexus feel almost. Oh. It really does. As an engine, you just get one. It's a hybrid powertrain, 243 horsepower, 30 plus mpgs, and wheel drive. And so far, I have experience with this car as far as driving it. It has the ability to set some modes. I drove it a lot in the sport mode around town. It's, it was adequate. I mean, I think you're going to go and win any drag races with it. You're not going to be racing this thing up a road or anything like that. But you know what? As far as style, as far as a vehicle that feels more expensive than it really is. I mean, this thing comes in at $53,000, something in that neighborhood, top of the line. As designed, as far as the way that it looks and feels, it's a decent, it's a good vehicle. And again, it's be one of those vehicles that are going to give you that feeling of a car than a truck. If you want more truck-like, you go for the RAV4. If you want something that's more car-like, if you're looking for something that's going to put a little luxury in there without having to go all the way up to the left, this is a car that you should be looking at. I'm enjoying my week in it, and please, any questions you have about it, of the Toyota Crown Signa hybrid, please, by all means, see it, Vinnie at drivetimeradio.com. That's Vinnie at drivetime-radio.com. And that will get them to me, and we can answer them on a future show. So Toyota Signia, Toyota Crown Signia. Okay, I'm looking forward to taking it on today on a trip up toward the Canadian border. Get a chance to wind it out on the highway and see how it does on some of the back roads up there in Skagit in County and its environs up there, Whatcom County. It's up near the border where you can get into the woods and kind of really, who knows, maybe I'll just go over the border. It's possible. Everything is possible. And like I said, 50 grand, I think, is the. Let's look real quick and see if I can find. Yes, 52,585 as delivered, and that includes the advanced technology package, locks, premium paint, the CC wipe accessory, yes, preferred accessory package with leather floor mat. All weather floor mats. First aid, the cargo tote, and I also got something called connected services for this trial, which I'm going to be checking out a little later today, and of course set for the 50 state emissions and the panoramic view monitor traffic jam assist as well. So you got a ton of options on this car. And it's if you're looking for something that's more of a station wagon, I think this is one that you'd be taking a look at. All right, it's Drivetime Radio, New York, Vinnie. We are rolling along here on a Saturday morning as we always do. I quickly wanted to jump in and give you a quick review on one of my favorite cars that I have driven this last year actually. Or did I drive? No, this I drove it. I think it was the first car I drove this year, as a matter of fact. And that is the Volkswagen, the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta. And there's so much about this car to love. And I really, at a starting price of around $20,000, I think this is about the biggest bang you get for your buck for $23,000 out. And probably by the time you get it out the door, $26,000 at a dealer. And I see a dealer somewhere in the middle of this country selling these cars for $8,999. And I think when you look at the ride quality, the fuel economy, the roominess of the cabin, the style of the vehicle, and feeling like you're in a cheap car, not feeling like you're in a car that looks like you spent. You look like you spent money with this car. This Jetta, 2025 Jetta, makes you get in this car and you feel like you get options on it you have to pay extra for in many other cars. In the Jetta, they're there, and I was really shocked by it. You get about 30 plus per gallon combined from the EPA. It seats 4 people nicely, 5 people clean. You get a 14 cubic foot trunk, gas powered front wheel drive. You get a 4-year, 50 grand warranty, and it's a when you put it up against the Mazda 3. You got to get, you get a decent what's left in cars. 150 horsepower, turbocharged, inline 4, 8-speed automatic transmission. I don't know why I guess you can still get the manual in the GLI. But if you go for the base model, You still get rain sensing wipers, wrap steering wheel, you get heated exterior, dual zone climate control, forward collision warning, autonomous braking. And again, a Jetta, which has been around a long time, and people, these cars love them, 34 miles per gallon combined. A bit of a refresh for 2025. But if you're going for the most expensive model, you're going to get, only thing I don't like about the Jetta was kind of the touch control. I don't like it that much. I like to feel that button click. But if you can get past that, you're getting a hell of a buy, I think, in the S model, which is the lowest end model. I mean, you'd have to strain yourself and really. I think if you try to go at the most expensive one, you're gonna spend $1,000. But if you want to go spend $23,220, the S is gonna get you out the door. You could go for the sport trip, a few bucks more, and you get a few extras like better seat, stainless steel pedal trim, window trim, but yet, again, for an inexpensive car that's going to get you where you want to go, for a cut and buy and spend $23,000 instead of buying your kid a used car that you're going to have all these problems with this car. That they're getting over the getting back. That there's not going to be the problems that always come up with used cars. And the car is engaging to drive. The model I had, which was the SEL, was a very engaging car to drive. And it's, the drive was, it wasn't a race car. It didn't bore you. Again, you can look at this. You can look at the mod now. One of the advantages that the Mazda 3 has over the Jetta is that you can get 3, I believe, with all-wheel drive. And you get a hatchback Mazda. Fortunately, the lower echelons of the vehicle, you can't get the manual transmission anymore. You got GLI series, but it's a very comfortable car. Even for the rear passengers, and again, you get cloth upholstery, manual seats, useful door pockets, and a deep center bin. Which again, for $23,000, $24, I'll take this over the Nissan 20 days to prove a decent car. Time in the Jetta, and again, I drove one of the Jettas, and I thought it was great. It was great. I ranked my week in the car in it, and I would say if you're budget shopping, if you're shopping for an inexpensive car, that you want the warranty, you want the peace of mind of buying, stick your kid in that car and have them drive it over to whatever school, over to Whitman, over to Wazoo, over to Idaho State, wherever they're driving to. On the other side of the Northwest, you can put them in this car and feel confident that they're going to get the safety equipment that they need, that you want on a car that you put your kid in these days. It gets by the way, The Jetta does get a 5-star overall safety rating from the NHA. And every Jetta comes with the forward collision warning and automated emergency braking, standard blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic, and you can get adaptive cruise control with stop and go technology. You want to get it? I think you have to teach the kids to learn how to hit the brake for themselves. But that's just me. You get an automatic transmission. What more do you want? You can also check out further these safety ratings on the NHTA website or the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety web at IIHS.org and NHTSA.gov, and you'll be able to get all facts about how safe this car is. Complimentary maintenance, by the way, is covered for 2 years or 20,000 miles on the Jetta. 4 years, 50,000 miles for the train warranty, and the limited warranty covers 4 years or 50,000 miles as well. So you send your kid off in a car that you can feel good about. And again, there's other cars out there that come in almost similar price categories, but I think Jetta in that category gives you the biggest bang for the buck. All right, that's going to put another edition of Drivetime in the books. Thank you so much for watching. All of you have the weekend, the long weekend. It's Martin Luther King weekend. The purpose of this weekend is to do something nice, do something good in the community. That's what Dr. King was all about. So you get a chance to do something good in the community, and I mean, be the simplest thing in the world, but a random act of kindness towards somebody is something that's appreciated not only by the person you do it for, but by the community as a whole. So please, if you get a chance, do that. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Don't forget that we are sponsored by GJP, George Jackson Promote. If you need something for your business, please support the people support this show. It's the only that we can continue to bring it to you, or else, we're going into the wind like everybody else does. Eventually, but we show coming to you every week to talk about cars. We want to expand the show. Look for our podcast, and don't forget that you can do it Michael and I Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on our social media network at 10:10 in the morning. Michael and I together, we hang out and we talk about everything that's going on in the world. So I'll see you on Monday. If not next Saturday morning at 11 o'clock for another edition of Drive Time Radio. And once again, contact me at Vinnie, drivetime-radio.com for any questions or inquiries or want to say hi. All right? I'll see you next week if the Lord's willing and the creek won't rise. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for listening.